Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name's Jimmy and this is Patriots Glow. In today's video, we're going to do something a little bit different. In one of my previous videos, I did have a subscriber ask about the sanding grits, what I would sand with, and what my personal thoughts and opinions on sanding are. You can go ahead and say these are my opinions, but these are best practices regardless. Anything I say, demonstrate, or show in this video today is really kind of a basis for what you should be doing regardless. If you do not agree with me, you are more than welcome to comment down in the comment box below, and I will have a conversation about that. If you're a new woodworker, you're sitting there thinking, okay, 80 grit, 180 grit, 120, 240, what do I do? What do I use? What do I start with? And as a new woodworker, you don't exactly know what you're looking for or the consequences of your actions of what type of sandpaper you use or the steps that you take while using it. And first things first, sanding is one of those things where it doesn't seem like a big deal when you're first starting, but it actually is. Everything looks like it's going perfectly fine until you go to stain your piece and find out there are lots and lots of swirls in your piece that you made. So that will take away a lot of time of resanding that back down, getting a lot of that stain off of there, and restaining that piece after it is sanded properly. Now, the reason that I know that that is going to be the scenario that a lot of new woodworkers might get into is because I've been in it. And if we sit here and we say that we've never made mistakes to learn along the way, I would like to agree to disagree on that. Because a lot of the lessons that I've learned, I have either learned finding out the hard way or learning on YouTube like we are today. So here's my first question for you. What grit sandpaper do you normally start out with? For a rough piece, it's probably 60 or 80 grit. That's going to be your first pass. That's going to be used to take off a lot of heavy material. That's, in essence, the bulldozer of the sandpaper. Anything large that you want to knock off of that, normally on reclaimed wood and or very damaged wood, you will use 60 or 80 grit. So moving on from there, you'll probably end up using 100 to 120 grit, and that's really good for shaping and working out a lot of the rough pass from your previous grit. A lot of those swirl marks that you may not see when you first look, I promise they are there. That sandpaper will smooth that out and get rid of some of those swirl marks. And that'll lead you into about 150 to 180 grit. That is going to be your prepping for a finish. And that will get rid of a lot of those coarser grits, swirl marks, and markings from the previous sandings once again. Just remember, as you're going, every grit that you go up, you are getting rid of the sanding marks from the previous sandpapers. So it is super important that we do not skip any of these steps. Now, would I be lying if I said I don't stop at 180 and I keep going? I stop at 180 depending on what I'm actually going for, what I'm working on. Are we working on a piece of furniture? Are we working on a cutting board, a charcuterie board? Things like that, we are going to keep going up. But if we're looking at a coffee table that I make for my living room, I promise I will stop at 180 grit because that will actually be smooth enough for a product like that because it is a farmhouse coffee table. Now, if you really want something nice and something to be looking good, you will go to 220 grit right about, and that will take oil really well. Any polys that you plan on putting on your wood finishes, that is a really sweet, perfect spot for a sanding paper to go down to. And I think that that is ideal for most of everything that you're going to do. Which, don't get me wrong, We can also go to 320 and higher, especially if you're looking for that glass finish, that perfectly smooth finish that just reflects light off of it perfectly. I don't normally go any higher than that, but your grits can go into the thousands when you're working with different materials. But most woodworkers are not going to go that high of a grit. Okay, so coming back and around to one of the tips that I did say, whatever you do, as tempting as it may be, do not skip the levels of grit sandpaper, because I promise you, you will spend way more time in the next level trying to sand away those previous marks that you put using a 60 or 80 grit sandpaper, trying to get rid of it with 220. It will take absolutely forever. That's not worth trying to do. Go through your steps, and that will alleviate some of that sanding time that you may have. Now, here are some bonus tips that I want to go over with you. Always remember, when you're sanding, go with the grain, not against the grain. If you go against the grain, I promise you're going to have swirl city, and that is not the city that we want to be in. Something that will also help is cleaning that piece of work that you're sanding after each grit. Go back through, wipe it down with a cloth, and that will make your sanding process even better and even nicer, and obviously a lot cleaner. All right, and then the last bonus tip, don't press hard. Let the sandpaper do the work. The tools are built to vibrate a specific way so that it can take a nice clean finish off of there. We're not pushing down to try to cut into these boards, and it will mark and divot your boards. So you have to be very careful the way that you're sanding, and take it nice and light passes, even passes all the way across. I'm going to go ahead and step off to the side here. I do have my other phone so that I can actually look to see what I'm trying to show you here, as weird as that sounds. But these are going to be very good demonstrations on what not to do and the different scraping and the marks that you're going to get. What it kind of looks like in this picture is that there are a lot of divots going in all the way across. So it looks like they are turning their sander on its edge and possibly sanding kind of like this, probably getting impatient and cutting into their tabletop here. Now, that is a good aesthetic for certain things, and don't get me wrong, this might have been done for a specific reason, but for sake of being able to see it, this is what we have. Now, with all of that being said, here's the difference between 80 grit and 400 grit with different stains. The staining is normally darker when that sanding, when those pores are open up more. But the finer that you sand that down, it closes up those pores and your stain does not actually soak up as much. I don't know how easy this will be able to see on the screen if you have to pause it, but between the 80, 120, and 220 grit, these are basically like the fibers still sticking up, and as you sand it down, those go away more and more as you go through. Okay, and this photo right here looks like they were using a heavier sandpaper. They weren't sanding incorrectly, it doesn't look like, but that heavier sandpaper left a lot of swirl marks that they need to go back through with lighter sandpapers to try to alleviate that. This one, very obvious, nothing to really show here. You can see it in the wood from further away. Not much explanation needed. Now, this final photo right here, I have personally seen on pieces that I have made and that I have messed up. For instance, the noodle boards that I make good money off of them. I'll link that video down in the description below. That's like a way older video, not like I've been doing this for a long time, but that's a way older video. I make these noodle boards and they sell really well. They do really great, especially during holidays. But man, since I do that entire board, I learned from an early stage that if I am not going through the proper sanding process, that I will get left with these swirls right here, and I have to go, you know, all the way through the steps, 80, 120, 180, all the way to my finished grit sandpaper, and then I will not have these swirls. So if you guys found this helpful, please leave a comment, a like, and share. If you have any other questions, please go ahead and ask them in the comment box below. And thank you very much, and I hope to catch you guys in the next video.